Mm-mm-mm. Wow, that's an eye opener. Sunrise Savior this morning, folks. It is Friday, October 18th, and I have to tell you, I am so unbelievably excited. The peak of fall is here. The cornucopia of that season is here. Corn stalks, pumpkins, pumpkin spice coffee, Sunrise Savior coffee, outdoor fireplaces now with these really cold mornings. What a difference. You go outside and you could smell that cherry wood burning. Just really just oh gosh, it just grabs you. Absolutely positively the best season all year long. All year long. What are your plans for the weekend? Tell you mine in a second. Hmm. Feel free to put some comments down below. Would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind too, slide on over from the comments. If you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button as well, and that little bell that gives you the indication and notification that, hey, Tony's got another video out. So, folks, welcome to Friday morning coffee. We are on the 18th already of October. This month is almost a blur, like other months past, but this one seems to be traveling at a high rate of speed and should get a ticket for speeding in a speed zone. Just saying, just saying. Let's slow down. Let's absorb. Let's relax. Let us enjoy. We become so busy in our schedules that we don't get a moment. I shouldn't say we don't get a moment. We don't recognize the moment. So I shouldn't say we don't get a moment because we all know that's bullshit. We are so busy in our schedules that we do not pay attention to the very essence of each season, what God has created in this magical world that we live in. The beauty outside, the turning of the leaves. If you go out in a quiet area to say the woods and you're hiking, if it's so quiet out there, you can hear the leaves hit the ground. It's faint, but you can. I've done it, just done it recently. And that's where I really became connected to even more so what life is all about. Life's not about politics. Life's not about a job. Life's not about what kind of car am I going to have or are they going to get my coffee right at Starbucks? It's not what life's about. Life's not about what people think about you, what they think about me. Because, be honest with you, I could care less. They don't pay my bills. They do not face the same pains that I face. They do not have the same trials and tribulations as I. So, why would I care just as much as you shouldn't either what someone thinks about you? There's only one person that you need to please, and that is our God, our Lord, who created you, created I. That's all we got to please. But, but go out and enjoy this life. Go out and grab the essence of this life. Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and what everybody else is doing. Stop being envy. Stop being jealous. Just stop. One of the most interesting things I read this. If I can find the article again, I will. But the most interesting thing is there's only a few high stress, high anxiety interactions that we have every day. Do you know what the number one is? Driving. Driving. You have to think at such a rapid rate on how to get in front of someone, go around, not pay attention to the signs, speed to get to a destination, all in a hurry to get nowhere. The craftiness of people is absolutely incredible how clever they can be at deception, impatientness, arrogance, and selfishness. It runs rapid. It is amazing to see what goes on. It's almost like you got to grab popcorn and just watch what goes on all day long. Now, when you go out and you drive or you ride in a car, you're going to notice what I just said even more now. And you're going to look and go, oh my gosh, he was right. Because we're so wrapped up in our day to day stuff, we don't even pay attention to that. We just become part of the landscape, part of the fabric. Wow. Where does that leave us? Leaves us to be pretty pathetic for the day, I guess. But where does it really leave us? It leaves us the opportunity to see what not to do, but also to be inspired, not by the negativity of what someone does, but inspired at the fact as we get to witness some amazing shit. Oh my gosh. I shouldn't use the word inspired, but it was pretty funny. Uh anyways, my point of this whole video is to not just talk about driving, but it's talking about enjoying the essence of the day, in essence of a season. Everybody has a season. So it's not just necessarily the four seasons. So you can enjoy fall, winter, spring, summer, that kind of thing, and specific things about those seasons that you enjoy. But also, there's a season that you go through during that season that can make or break you. So a season of abundance, right? You're doing well, money's coming in, you don't have a problem with bills, credit score is doing good. Then all of a sudden in that season it rains. That rain could be a loss of a job, a disability, heaven forbid, a loss of life. Did you plan for that rainy day in that season? Nobody does. But one thing you can do to help is to dive into the word now. Start learning more and more about what the message is. I said it before. The Bible stands for basic instruction before leaving earth. If you want the answers to your problems, they're right here. And what makes this even more incredible now is we have our phones that if we go to Chat GPT or any AI, you could look this information up like that. You type in simply is uh, season of despair. Find me a Bible verse, whatever Bible verse. And what it'll do is it'll give you, typically it gives you the NIV, or it may give you a King James or the Good News, but it'll give you what that verse, where to locate it, what it says, and any other reference point that you need to connect with that, you're going to find. Folks, it's right here. We're spending all this time in newspapers and on the phone scrolling and everything else to be bombarded with negativity, toxicity, and it goes on. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's just a waste of time. It really is. It's a waste of time, waste of energy, a waste of your resources. And really, the biggest resource is your time. How much time do you scroll on your phone before you realize, oops, I've done it too? I'll be going through, just maybe looking up something. And before I even start looking that up, next thing you know, I am going off the social media and I'm scrolling TikTok, I'm scrolling Instagram, maybe even Facebook. And I'm going through these things and going through these things and going through these things. And then guess what? All of a sudden, boom, I've just wasted an hour. I did a recent study on that too. Is I try, not 100%, but I tried. So the 5 times that I was successful at this, of recording my time from the time I went on, even to look up what I originally intended, I would write down the time. Okay, it says, it's 7:50 PM. And I would start trying thinking I was going to look up what I needed to look up, and I go completely off guard, or off the plan, and not managing my time well. And next thing you know, I look and it's like 8:30. Oh my gosh, I just spent, what is that? 7:50 to 8:30 is what? That's 40 minutes. 40 minutes. One day I was 40 minutes. The other day I was an hour and a half. Are you ready for this one? This was the coup de grace that I realized how much time I spent on social media and not posting. I'm talking about scrolling crap. Just, and I understand we could talk about the matrix of this and everything else, but it turned out to be the longest time that I can remember being on social media. It was 2.5 hours. What did I accomplish in 2.5 hours? So the whole week went by, and it actually was a little over a week. It was about 10 days. And I totaled up the 5 times that I could remember. And just in those 5 times alone, I've wasted 4.25 hours. 4.25 hours. Holy crap. That is not a good use of my time. That's dead time. It's like a bank account. You just keep taking money out. If you have nothing to go back in, it's not going to grow. It's the same thing with time. Once that time is gone, it's gone. But one of the things we need to do is focus our time. Instead of picking up the phone, pick up the Bible. Maybe if you're done reading the Bible, pick up a book. Here's another thing. Get a journal. Write in the journal. Do something besides staying on the phone for 2 hours, for 4 hours, for 6 hours. All the social media channels and platforms do have a performance on there. It'll tell you, your phone does it too. It'll tell you screen time, how much screen time you had, how much engagement you had, and all kinds of other matrix analytical tools, all this stuff at your fingertips. What's funny is that when you go to look at that, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I wasted so much time. Now, I told you 4.25 hours is what I wasted in about 10 days. That's not everything I calculated. Can you imagine if I did that every day? And let's say that's going to be for a month. Actually, I hope my producer hears that. I got an idea. I'm going to try to do that for a month and see how much time I've wasted. Not that I want to waste it, but the point of this is getting more structure. It's getting more, oops, okay, here's the problem. Here's the solution. There is no fixing. Take the word fix out of your vocabulary. Fix only represents a band aid that's going to get torn off and the wound is going to open up again. Get rid of that word fix. Stick to finding your purpose, but also finding solution. So And now you heard me just mention purpose. Well, when you have purpose and solution and purpose, or purpose and solution, however you want to work it, it doesn't matter. But the two go hand in hand. And here's why. Purpose is, what am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? Right? Find your purpose. People are always trying to find, what works good for them in social media. Instead of wasting your time on social media, find out what is your purpose. What is it you want to do? And don't just say it, do it. Don't just write it down, follow it. Get it working for you. Solution is solve the problems that are creating the stumbling blocks for you to move on every day. So to me, the Bible sets that groundwork for me. It sets that tone. And as a kid growing up as a Roman Catholic, I never learned, and this is not a bashing of Catholics, you just see where I'm going with this in a second. I never had received exactly the meaning of the word. It was always damnation. Now, I'll remind you, I was a kid growing up in the late 60s, early 70s. So damnation was always prevalent. Boom, boom, boom. You're basically almost, you're never going to be good enough to go to heaven. So get that out of your mind. You're stuck in purgatory and you're going to go to hell. That's pretty much how I was told. Well, it took me many, many years, a lot of frustration, a lot of failure, a lot of anger, a lot of hate to come together and finally realize. Sorry, I was just watching my thing keeps beeping here. Uh, Focusing in on, okay, where am I going to find the word? Now I found it through my church and ended up becoming a Lutheran. And again, I'm not pushing a certain religion at all. I'm just saying this is what worked for me. You'll have to find out what church works for you. So many folks go, well, I don't need to go to church. I could just pray. Well, that's true. But at the same time, church offers a sense of community, a sense of understanding what this means. Because you could sit there and pray at home all you want, and you could try to read the Bible and go, "I have no idea what he's saying here," or "I don't have a clue." And then this becomes a doorstop. This here becomes a paperweight, and it's it's something where we need to look at, take time with. Hopefully, you find a church that could help guide you. But if not, and you're not at that stage yet, get a Bible, start reading it, start time managing yourself. Stop going on social media and scrolling for so long. Make a schedule. I do it on my phone. I have my schedule so detailed right now, and I not all the time, not all the time, but I try to follow it as much as possible. And I have it specifically set for time of editing film and creating content and all that, to actually getting up in the morning, telling me when to turn a coffee pot on, when to do my morning devotional, get started for the day. I got to get the grandkids on the bus. Then from there, I go do this and go do that. I have a time slot for each thing, including dinner hour and personal time. Personal time and read time, two separate items. And I did that specifically because I want time to read. That's not my personal time, even though it is personal. It's not personal time. Personal time is my social media, is screwing around on that thing and just randomly looking up crap. Why? Because a lot of times we need to just decompress, pull ourselves away from the outside world, all the distractions and everything else, and just be, just be. But I'm here to tell you too, the Bible gives you that same relaxation, that same release of stress, anxiety, just by reading it, understanding it, becoming more familiar with it. Maybe start attending church, start putting yourself and surrounding yourself with like minded people. the misnomer is everybody who is not of faith, and when I say that, I don't mean you have no faith. It means your faith is not it's not molded yet. It's not grown. It's not uh, to a point yet where it's at a level of where you want it to be. And so you're like at the incipient stages of your faith. Well, a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to go to church. There's a bunch of Bible beaters there. No, like actually, I can tell you right now, my church is nothing like that. Our pastor's married and he's got 4 kids. Um, People show up to church with shorts, flip flops, Bills jerseys, even ripped jeans, tattoos. It doesn't matter. You're there. That's what's important. And every time you walk in, you're greeted with the most warmest welcome. Like you just walked into someone's home, which actually you did. You walked into God's house. So you know what? Take the time, pick up a Bible, see what it's about. Don't get frustrated with it because it is complicated, but you don't read it from cover to cover as well. There's different stories. So just pick something out. I always suggest a way to really get yourself started. If you're looking, and I'll share this with you, and then we got to end this here. But um, one of the things there's two sections of the Bible that I highly recommend when you're first starting out, and it's Psalms and Proverbs. Psalms are basically songs that David had wrote, and then Proverbs are written as well. Proverbs are, you you might let me read one of them here. So, um, okay, right here. Do not love sleep. I'm sorry. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you'll have food to spare. It doesn't mean stay up 24/7, but it gives you a guideline to keep working hard at the word, working hard at your family, working hard in your community, whatever it may be, working hard for yourself, become a better self. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me take this one here. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but the lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. Interesting enough, if you take that proverb, let's talk about someone who is wealthy monetarily and someone who talks about being wealthy. This is where this goes. This is why it's so interesting to read Proverbs and Psalms and stuff. But when you read that, gold there is money, materialistic things, that kind of thing, and rubies in abundance. I'm going to give you two meanings here. I'm going to give you the physical human meaning of this, and then I'm going to talk about the God part of it in just a second. So, and then, but the lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. So, in other words, um, people that speak of their wealth and show off with the bling and the cars and all this other stuff, you're not wealthy. Even someone who's got billions of dollars is not wealthy. You're wealthy in spirit. But if you were to look at that and say, oh, I kind of understand that, the ones that are more wealthy, the true wealth, are ones that really speak very little, so that becomes a rare jewel. Now, we talk about uh, the biblical part of this, and you say, "Oh, gold there is, rubies in abundance. Here's your gold." Each book in the Bible, there's 66 of them. Those are your rubies, but the lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel because there may be a lot of Christians, but very little of them still tend not to speak out. The lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. The ones who take time. There's only so many people in this world that really know the Bible, and I don't mean cover to cover, but know its interactions with it. It knows where this is going and what it's meant to do. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I think I kind of botched it up a little bit because I lost a train of thought that I had with that, but I apologize. So, but basically, that is where you want to come together in the book. You grab yourself a Bible, start with Proverbs, start with Psalms, and then work your way from there. If you're looking for a Bible app, you can go to any Bible app on there. One in particular I use is the Holy Bible. It really, every day there's something new. It does a video, gives you a little blurb of the script as well. First, the verse, then it goes on to a video, and then from the video, it goes into a story, and the story goes back to the prayer, and then it's done. So I do my morning devotional every morning between 4:30 and 5 a.m., and then I'm started for the day. If I don't start that for the day, my day is shot. I'm unorganized. I'm not paying attention, and basically I'm lost. So, that's what works for me. You can find out what works for you. If you were looking for any advice, anything like that, or you want help putting something together, whatever, just send me an email. You can send it to me at info@travelanddiscoveries.com. You can text me or call me at 716-288-6775. I'll be more than happy to put something together for you and help you out. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. It's my time and your time. And to me, that is a return on investment that is well worth any dollar that you could put to it. So I'm not charging anybody. I don't have a course for someone to buy. I simply have some knowledge I would like to share, some faith I want to share. It's free. So, interesting Friday morning. We're coming up on 27 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you and your families and your family and friends an incredible weekend. Enjoy this fall weekend for what we have before us. Your journey starts here. We'll see you next time in the essence of travel and discoveries where you and I get to explore the places you want to go. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.